Good morning, precious people. Here we are together. It's another fresh day. I'm so thankful for your irreplaceable light and the wisdom and experience that you bring into the world. Today is a gift filled with possibility. So open it with kindness and curiosity. Remember, we're all still growing and learning, so show yourself and those people around you a little bit of grace, a little mercy. So, let's check in with each other. Grab your nearest drink. I have coffee today. Oh, yeah. Water. Have you drank your water today? Oh, yeah. It's so good. Water, water, water. Is there a song about water? I feel like there should be some sort of water song. Drink your water every day. Anyway, let's check in with ourselves. Take a deep breath and then just scan your body. See if there's anything inside you need to address. Okay, you ready? I feel a little something. I actually feel pain right here, but like behind my shoulder blade. Maybe I have to think about how that got there. Oh, I was sleeping on a different bed. I slept in a different bed with a different pillow. That could be it. Yeah, that's probably it. I'm not feeling anything particularly stressful or anything. So the last couple weeks, we've been talking about the outside world, the inside world, how we can identify, like, some people don't understand the humor that's out there. Some people could take humor literally. We've guarded ourselves against suicidal empathy. We learned how to audit the logic of very uncurious people. Then explored how we can be a blank canvas every day. That whatever's happened yesterday, you can let it go and start fresh today. We turned our bad days into good stories. Every bad interaction can be like a learning experience, and when you remember, you can remember in this positive way where you've turned it into a good story. So that's been the last 2 weeks. Today, I want to talk about how we finalize all that, kind of like a blueprint, and we're the architect. You're going to take the architect's rest. You get to just finally step in to becoming that person you admire. So I guess I address this a little bit in my title about popularity, where it's like the pursuit of having other people like you it should be secondary to you liking yourself, you becoming the kind of person you respect. So after we analyze the world and our place in it, this blueprint is useless if you never move into the house. So you have the courage to be disliked. That peace you're going to feel, and you're going to live every day as the hero in your own story. So over the last 10 days, we've looked through the world, looked at the world through a new lens, and stopped asking, why are people like this? And start asking, how do I operate effectively among these people? The final step isn't more analysis, it's inhabitation. Like I said, like you're building this house, you're the architect, you're building this space you want to live. So the moment you stop planning to be the person you admire, you can simply become that person. And you go from doing, learning, planning, to just being. I want to talk about a little bit of psychology. It's called the self-affirmation theory. When your internal sense of self-worth is high, you become less reactive to external threats. And by threats, I mean like threats to your ego, threats to your own self-perception. Kind of like that man who was yelling at me when I got out of my Uber, or the people on the train who were reacting weirdly to my question, my question on their questions. So when you do have that strong sense of self-worth, you can not be impenetrable, but you definitely have a higher defense against critique and just the random everyday person that you interact with. And you can develop what psychologists call the courage to be disliked. Research shows that high-functioning individuals don't spend energy trying to fix everyone's perception of them. They realize, first of all, 30% of people won't even get them. Another 20% might actually dislike them. And once you've accepted that people's disapproval of you is just this background noise, you can gain a sense of freedom that feels almost like a superpower. You almost feel impenetrable. What's it called? Unpinnable. Because you're not going around trying to make people think something about you. I was going to give you a personal experience of how I tried to shape how people see me. This was after my mom passed away. I went on a vacation, or I did something. I was in the middle of it. I was really suffering after my mom passed away. And so someone asked if I missed people when I went away for my trip. I'm like, nope, I didn't even miss you, and I was trying to be a little funny, but then I realized that came across really insensitive and mean. And so that ate at me for months. For months, I was thinking of it. And this is the sweetest lady. She was my middle school teacher. I still love her to this day. She's amazing. And I just said those mean words, and like I said, it ate at me for months. And so I went back to her and I apologized. I said, do you remember when I came back from that long trip and I said I didn't miss anybody, and especially you? And she goes, no, what are you talking about? So I'm like, oh, never mind. Like, I just felt like I was rude to you a few months ago and I just wanted to apologize. She's like, of course, you're fine. But I'm trying to manage how someone else thinks about me. And it was fruitless. Even yesterday, well, I had a couple of experiences yesterday. One, it was in the evening. There was a neighbor walking by. My husband and I were walking to the grocery store, and this neighbor walked by we never met with his dog, and we stopped and talked to him. And he turns to me, he goes, well, what do you do for a living? I was like, oh, what a weird question. I don't know. Especially as a woman, you don't really get that question as much. Men are like, what do you do? Who do you work for? It's kind of important to them. But me being asked is, and I was like, I kind of work, but I mostly volunteer. Then I have a job offer hanging in the air. I have this research study I'm going to be earning money at, but it's not really a job. So I'm like, I didn't know how to even answer. And so he's like, oh, you're like one of those women, like kind of living off your husband or something. And then he turns to my husband, he's like, what do you do? And he's like, yeah, I make enough money. I work from home, blah, blah, blah. And I was like a little insulted, and I almost tried to explain myself, try to speak up. And this guy obviously was full of himself, and wanted to talk about himself. So I was like, okay, bye. I'm like, this random stranger, I don't have to prove myself. I don't have to make someone like me or what I do with my life. It was really freeing in that moment to be like, feeling that feeling where I had to, ooh, now I need to explain to him that I'm actually really super busy with all this stuff I'm doing. And I do earn money through different things that I'm doing. And I do have a job, but it's very part-time. I don't know. And then instantly, when I thought, I don't have to explain myself to this guy, I felt so much better. And then I'm like, all right, we got to get to the store. See you later. And then yesterday also, I had another experience in the morning where there's a person I had a bad experience with before start asking me questions. And then because so many people were talking at once, I chose not to answer that question and turn to someone else. So I'm like, I've learned from my past interactions, like I don't want to engage with that person. So and not having to explain like, hey, I'm going to talk to this other person. I just not caring what other people think about you, but really caring what you think about yourself. You being the kind, reliable, loving person that you are means you don't have to explain yourself to other people. And it comes down to something called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's this triangle where the base of the triangle is like your basic human needs, your physiological needs. The next level is like safety and security. And then the next level, I have it here, love and belonging, connection, self-esteem. And then at the top is your self-actualization, is that creativity, spontaneity, problem solving, the actual idea of who you are as a person. And once that part has been established, you have all your other needs met, and you can be that person who doesn't have to be popular, doesn't have to control what other people think about you. You can be that person, like I said, with this random interaction where I felt not disapproved, like a cliche in this guy's mind. So that's fine. He can think what he wants to think. I don't even know. We could become really good friends and good neighbors, but at this point in this interaction, I couldn't care less what someone else thinks about me. Okay, I wanted to make a toolbox, a social toolbox. So, this is something about how to navigate these interactions like I had yesterday, those two that stuck out to me. I will only strike matches for those who bring their own wood. I'm no longer going to be this unpaid tutor. Like in the conversations, I'm like, well, I don't know if something, and I know it's true, but they don't believe me, and I have to bring it up on my phone or whatever. I'm not going to do that anymore. They have to bring the wood if they want me to strike a match. Also, just try to find those needs, be observant in your social interactions, listening to those unspoken things that people say that they need. And if it's something that you have or you have the ability to provide to someone else, that will build your own feelings of satisfaction, purpose, to where you don't feel like you have to explain to someone, I'm a nice guy, I'm a good person. It's like we don't have to say those words out loud. I'm patient, I'm a good listener. You just exhibit those traits. And it's okay if no one else acknowledges it, because you know how you are. Then this something is called the logic firewall. I will not explain myself to those who process the world through literalism or entitlement. So other people are operating on a whole different operating system, and thought process. So if you're going around trying to explain yourself to them, you can't even be in their mind to know how to explain yourself to them effectively. And no thank you is a complete sentence, and it can be in your toolbox, or I don't know. the two complete sentences where you don't have to go into explanations for anything. So I wanted to see if anything, any of these thoughts that I was having has a root in the Bible. So we're talking about peace, ultimately. Not rambling, trying to explain things, but you can just live in peace knowing you know yourself. So in Philippians 4, it says, the peace of God which passes all understanding. It's a promise that will be given to us, the peace of God. This peace happens when you stop trying to understand why everyone around you can be so difficult sometimes, and you just start trusting in the design of what is going on around you. Someone has designed this. In Psalm 16:6, it says, the lines have fallen for me in pleasant places indeed. I have a beautiful inheritance. So when you stop trying to fight the lines or these boundaries, and you start building within them, that's when your life becomes right where you're meant to be. And it was funny, I was reading about the lines, how it says the lines, and it had me remembering back when I was a teenager and I was working, going to school, going to church, and everywhere you go, there's rules. And then I see other people like kicking against the rules or breaking the rules. And I had this thought to myself, I'm like, I like rules. I like boundaries. So if I can know where the boundary of something is, then I can operate within that boundary with complete freedom and safety. I am like, please let me know all the rules. I want to know all the regulations, all the things that we're supposed to be doing in this space, so I can have the freedom to do my work, live my life within these boundaries safely. That was just a little random thing that I thought when I read that scripture. Every season comes to an end, but so does the last 2 weeks of this series. I've been trying to build this architecture of social competence and internal and external competence. So, I have homework. We're a new creation. Just so you know, you're a new creation. You're not the person who gets stuck in these unbearable conversations on the train. And when you do, you learn from it and it doesn't happen again. So my homework is to celebrate this renaissance that we have gone through. Do one thing the old you would have been too agreeable to do. So today I have plans. I'm going out to a friend's house for a craft, and usually when I'm with a group of friends, I'm very agreeable. If something comes up, a topic I don't agree with, I will just shut down, just be quiet. But maybe the new me can express myself and then not have to over-explain myself to try to get them to like me or accept my point of view. Just be like, no, I don't believe that we are a racist country. That's, one of these situations I remembered where I kind of shut down. So if anything I said sparked a thought, go ahead and leave a comment, a like, subscribe, so you get more content, more learning, because every single day is a chance to grow and learn and become more of the wonderful person you are. And the world is better with your light in it. Thank you so much for sharing time with me today. I'll be here tomorrow, but until then, you have a wonderful day, and just remember, you're the Lord's precious one. Bye!